Atlanta. We continue now with information about the strike on Iraq today, happening just about 2 hours ago, just outside of Baghdad. Let's go back to Baghdad and CNN's Brent Sadler, who's standing by to bring us an update. Brent.
Natalie, the only damage we can confirm is what's happened at the Al Rashid Hotel, which is just a couple of miles from where I'm standing. Now, the Iraqis are saying it's preposterous to suggest that one of their weapons caused the destruction. There's a massive crater over at the Al Rashid, and they're saying it was definitely the work of a Tomahawk cruise missile. I'm now joined by CNN's Tracy Fleming, who was actually at the Rashid Hotel when that weapon exploded. Tracy, what did you see?
Well, Maria Fleet and I were shooting out the window. She had the night scope and I had the regular camera. And from the corner of the window, like a fireball basically just flashed by. And then we heard the loud explosion. And we didn't realize how close to the hotel it actually was. Obviously bright lights blew me out of the window. And then Rob Reynolds, our producer, came and got us. And we went down and saw that the lobby is just a mess, gone. The water on the floors, all the windows are smashed. We went outside and the crater, probably about 10 feet deep, I would guess, was right next to the wall of the hotel. And just
Can you describe the sound again, specifically? What did you hear?
Kind of like a hissing whoosh, like a kind of sound. Like hissing whoosh is the only thing I can think of.
And was it a powerful explosion?
Yes, it was quite powerful. We were on the 7th floor, and it still blew me out of the window. And our windows didn't shatter, but dust flew into the room, and it was quite powerful.
You saw some casualties?
Yes, we saw one woman in a service elevator lobby area. I believe she was dead, yes. And they brought her out and took her out the ambulance.
Do you think it could have been caused by anti-aircraft fire?
Seriously doubt it. No, I don't really think so, no.
Impossible to say. I'm going to now go across to NBC's Derek Wilkinson, who's an editor. Your office was actually hit, wasn't it?
Yes, I was taking pictures of all the strafing and tracers, and I just heard a whoosh go past the window and nothing happened. Then another one came past, and then the third one was louder, and I heard it just exploded right in front and just threw me back. The camera fell on top of me. I think the biggest shock was to see the state of the room I was in. I just couldn't believe it. And then 2 or 3 of the people came running to help me and took all there was a door on top of me and glass everywhere. And I was just lucky to be alive. I think the camera may have saved me.
How much anti-aircraft activity was going on before this explosion?
There was quite a bit of anti-aircraft activity, but I don't think that was anti-aircraft that caused the explosion.
What makes you say that, and do you have any experience?
Well, it was so loud. It was just so loud, deafening. And I don't think anti-aircraft would be as loud as that.
What are these cuts on your head? How did you get those?
It was glass, I think. Or it just threw me back immediately, you know. I don't know, it must be glass or just flying debris.
There's an Islamic conference that's been going on. Delegates have been staying at the Al Rashid. What's their reaction to what's happened down there?
I didn't hear any reaction at all because we just made our way down to the stairs to the lobby where it was full of water. I heard 1 or 2 people moaning. Then the ambulances came, and I've heard that there's 1 person dead.
Derek, Tracy, thank you very much for those eyewitness accounts. Of course, it's impossible for us to determine exactly what caused that damage. The Iraqis are saying it's preposterous. In fact, we were talking to Iraqi officials a short while ago who were watching CNN and listening to analysis by various experts. They're saying it's certainly the work of Tomahawk cruise missiles. We can't possibly confirm at this stage what it was. Natalie.
Can I ask you one question? Do you have any idea, from judging from that hole near the pool, what kind of angle, whatever this was that came in as?
It's difficult to say, but the angle was at the side of the hotel. I remember during the Gulf War 2 years ago that a large explosion took out a building next to the swimming pool, which is on the same side of the Al Rashid Hotel. And at that time, I reported, although it was not confirmed by the Allies, I reported that I thought it was a cruise missile that had caused that destruction, and that missile had been shot down. Of course, it is quite possible that this was a cruise missile that caused the damage. There was a very big crater outside the Al Rashid Hotel, and it could well have been shot down by all that anti-aircraft fire you saw. Now, I've just been handed a statement. It's the first time I've seen it. It's just come from the Information Ministry here, and I'll read it to you. A spokesman at the Information Ministry announced tonight that the site which was hit by the US raid this evening is not a nuclear site. That refers to the first Tomahawk, which came across Baghdad and hit a target, according to the Pentagon, some 13 miles away. The Iraqis say that was not a nuclear site, as Marlin Fitzwater claimed. It is, say the Iraqis, a mechanical engineering plant that manufactures molds and dyes, so some sort of industrial process, say the Iraqis. The plant, according to the Information Ministry, was visited several times by UN inspection teams, and they know exactly what it is, says this statement, just from the Information Minister himself. Natalie.
Okay, Brent Sadler, thank you very much. We're going to bring in, once again, General Perry Smith, one of CNN's military analysts. And General Smith, a lot of talk about what perhaps did hit this hotel, and the White House is saying possibly it could be anti-aircraft weaponry coming back down. What have you learned, if anything?
Yeah, well, I've talked to a lot of people, and it seems to me you have to stand back and think of all the options. One, it could have been a very large caliber anti-aircraft round returning down and exploding. That could be like an 85-millimeter round. It could be a warhead from a surface-to-air missile, a large warhead coming back in and exploding. It could be a cruise missile that was damaged in flight and left its normal course and came in and hit the El Rashid Hotel. But since the El Rashid Hotel is such a key point for journalism and was never hit during the Gulf War, you begin to raise maybe another issue. And this is one you got to be careful about, but it seems to me one that has to be considered, and that is it would be very much in the Iraqis' interest to have the El Rashid Hotel damaged. And then the question is, could they have set this up themselves in some kind of a way? And so you have to look at all those options, and we won't know for a while until we can have a chance to look at more of the data. We may be a long time before we know that, but we have to be sure to look at all those options before we jump